Hello there, my quarantined Math 202 students. Now that we know that we will be gone for the rest of the semester, that we are moving fully online, I wanted to start my video suite with a brief video just talking about what the rest of the semester will look like. So the point of this video is just to discuss what the rest of the semester looks like. What are we going to do in this course? So in terms of material, we are going to cover the same material, although I have to pare back some stuff from individual sections. But in terms of the overall material that we are going to cover, it is still going to be Chapter 7. That was in the schedule. We're still going to cover that, all of the sections that we were going to cover. Chapter 7 is an introduction to solving systems of differential equations. We will then study epidemic models, particularly relevant now, right? So we will study epidemic models plus section 2.1, which just talks about numeric algorithms for solving them. And then we'll finish with chapter 9, which are ecological models. So there's an updated homework schedule on Moodle. So let me just bring up that schedule really quickly. Okay, so just make it slightly smaller to fit it all. Okay, so here is, still not quite small enough. Here is the rest of the semester. So I have chapter 7 starts here. This is what we were supposed to start after spring break. Chapter 7 starts and so on. So in this column here, just showing what section we are covering, that has not changed. What has changed are the homework exercises. I have changed them to only the ones that I will grade. So there's still some CPDFs, so there's still supplemental PDFs, but you'll notice that many of the problems have been cut out. This is the schedule that we are going to follow for the rest of the semester, so I don't see any reason to change it. I mean, things like Good Friday and Easter Monday are not relevant anymore, but whatever, take those days off. Otherwise, on these days, you should be doing an approximation of what we would be doing in class. Okay, so anyway, so we're covering the same material overall, although in practice we'll be covering less than what we would have covered at an individual section level. Okay, instruction. So the faculty met and discussed all sorts of ways to keep giving instruction. There were many ideas thrown out. One of those ideas was I could have my class at the normal times and say hold Zoom meetings where all of you zoomed in and I tried to give a lecture via Zoom. And so on. There were lots of ideas. I don't know about all that. Okay, so I just don't know that's going to be a good approximation of class. So what I've decided to do, and I think what most mathematicians and STEM people in general are doing, people like physicists and chemists I think are also doing something like this. I'm just going to be trying to approximate what I would have told you in class. In YouTube videos, there's a Math 202 playlist that I have sent you. You should treat these videos like in-class lectures, which means you should pay attention to them, take notes, make notes of whatever questions you have. Just like in class, right, where we stop down, you guys try some problems on your own. These videos have things like that. You should do those exercises. The solutions are included, so you can check to see if what you just did is correct and matches sort of what you were just supposed to have learned. I strongly suggest this. You may want to find a study buddy or a partner for the rest of the semester that you talk to at least once a week on FaceTime or Skype. I mean, you guys already kind of have natural pairings in class anyway. So like Joseph and Trevor, you guys could just agree to be sort of permanent partners for the rest of the semester and agree to check in with each other. You all, of course, can check in with me as often as you would like, but at the very least, it can be lonely in an online course to learn only by yourself and to only communicate with a professor via email or something, right? So I wouldn't take that path. I would try to have some face contact with somebody else from the class besides me, and I would try to have some face contact with me also. But if I were you, one of the first things I would do is reach out and see if you could find a partner or maybe form a triangle, a little triad action going on. Anyway, so just something like that. Okay, so you'll still be turning in homework. I already pointed out the modified schedule. You're going to take high-quality pictures of your work, and you will upload them through Moodle. I will show you how to do that later when we actually need to. High quality here doesn't mean getting out your family's DSLR camera or something with a professional grade lens. It just means that I can read the work easily. So Don't take a picture where 80% of it is like your kitchen table and the rest of it is like the piece of paper, Your work itself should be clearly labeled, easy to follow. That was true before. It's especially true now, though, isn't it? I mean, if I can't make out what's in a picture you've uploaded, I'm not going to grade it. Okay, I'm not going to spend my time trying to decipher, scratch work on a JPEG that I can barely read. We're going to follow our normal homework schedule. Homework being due on Wednesdays, just like normal. They'll be due Wednesday at whatever time our class was supposed to meet, at 1:45. And again, you'll turn them in through Moodle. As I've pointed out, I have pared back the homework schedule, the problems that I will potentially grade quite a bit, right? So before, when you turned in problems, you knew that I was going to potentially grade 2 of 5 problems from a section, right? Now I'm just telling you which problems I will grade. You should still do more problems. You should be doing like 5 or 6 problems per section. So the problems I assign, you can see in the homework exercises, what problems are similar to that. You should just do some similar problems. The answers are in the back of the book for odd problems, So just pick some extra problems and do them. I don't quite know how exams will work. Most likely I will do what I think the physics department is doing, and I'll proctor them through a Zoom meeting, and you'll turn in the work to me through Moodle. That's how I think the semester is going to go. We'll see, I don't know how well that would work. But I do know it means you have to be proactive, more so than if we were meeting in class. You have to watch these videos on a schedule. You have to be willing to reach out to me to request FaceTime or Skype sessions and so on, right? I, unfortunately, cannot meet anytime you want to meet because I have my 2 kids at home. I have 2 little kids, and so now I'm like a full-time stay-at-home dad and homeschooler, so that takes a lot of time and effort. But of course, if you reach out to me and say, I want to Skype with you, I'm happy to find a time within that day or the next day where somebody else can watch like my wife can take my kids or whatever, and we can Skype. So you just need to be more proactive. That's what the rest of the semester will look like.